all those doubters, at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I hate that. I hate that.
What time is it? What time is it? Terence,
he's not me.
Yeah.
You know, as much as a lot of people, you know, say we have similarities and, you know, we switch a lot and we fight a lot.
Terence Crawford burst out laughing after watching Canelo Alvarez spar Jaron Ennis, and his reaction has the boxing world buzzing.
Oh.
Get to work, baby.
So.
Be sure to like and subscribe because this one's going to be good. Now, I have to ask, did Canelo make a mistake bringing Ennis into camp? The sparring session meant to sharpen him for the biggest fight of his career might have exposed more than his team ever wanted the public to see.
Let's go! Yeah. Let's go, baby!
Rumors suggest Canelo didn't just struggle, he may have even been forced to back off early. Photos soon surfaced showing a frustrated Canelo with a lump on his forehead, while Ennis stood beside him grinning. That's when Crawford stepped in. His laugh, his words, and his confidence turned this sparring tale into one of the biggest pre-fight controversies in years. And it doesn't end there. Trainers, legends, and even Netflix are now weighing in.
What is there to talk about? You fighting the best fighter in the world. You better be taking it serious. You know, that goes to show, you know, how serious he's taking me and how much he respects me.
When the media asked Crawford about Canelo bringing in Jaron Ennis as a sparring partner, he didn't hold back. Smiling, Crawford said, "You're fighting the best fighter in the world. You better be taking it serious." That shows how serious he's taking me and how much he respects me. It wasn't just laughter, it was a message. Crawford made it clear, if he wasn't a real threat, Canelo wouldn't need Ennis. He wouldn't be flying in young, hungry, dangerous fighters considered the future of boxing. He wouldn't be stacking his camp with elite talent just to prepare. Then came Crawford's mic drop moment. If I was too small or my resume wasn't good enough, he wouldn't need these guys. But he does. And after September 13th, there will be no excuses. That's not trash talk, it's confidence backed by 41 wins, 31 knockouts, and the pound-for-pound crown.
Because, you know, if I haven't fought anyone, if I was too small, if I was, you know, all these things that all the media say I was, then we wouldn't need these guys to help prepare him to fight me.
But as Crawford laughed, the internet was already buzzing with rumors that set social media on fire. It began with whispers on X claiming Canelo Alvarez quit after 3 rounds with Jaron Ennis. Some fans swore it was true, others called it clickbait, but the timing couldn't have been sharper. Canelo had just been photographed after sparring, and fans zoomed in on every detail. Ennis looked fresh, smiling like he'd finished a light workout. Canelo, on the other hand, didn't. His expression was tense, his mood sour, and most noticeably, a swelling bulged on his forehead. To many fans, it didn't look like a man in control of his camp.
¡Ánimo, cabrón! ¡Ánimo, Ale! Wake up, buddy!
Now, let's be clear, sparring isn't the same as fighting. Fighters often rotate partners every few rounds to keep the intensity high. What might look like quitting could simply be part of the plan, switching partners to stay sharp. But when a picture tells a different story, fans don't want explanations, they want drama. And this time, the drama exploded. Headlines screamed, "Canelo quit in sparring." Twitter spaces lit up with debates, and suddenly Crawford's laugh seemed to carry even more weight. The leaked images quickly became the center of the storm. Ennis stood calm, smiling, and confident, a young lion enjoying his moment. Beside him, Canelo looked stone-faced, his body language tight, with a clear bump on his forehead. To casual fans, it seemed like Ennis had dominated him. To boxing insiders, it raised deeper questions. Trainers noted that in elite camps, fighters are sometimes pulled early if they're getting touched up too much, not because they're weak, but because frustration this close to fight night can be risky. Some even suggested Canelo's coaches might have been protecting his confidence, pulling Ennis out before things got worse. Then came the photo analysis. Fans noticed how Canelo angled his body to keep the swollen side of his face away from the camera. They highlighted Ennis's relaxed posture, as if he hadn't even broken a sweat. Fair or not, the optics told a powerful story. Boots Ennis appeared to have gotten the better of the undisputed super middleweight champion. Heading into fight week, the question became unavoidable. Was Canelo truly struggling in camp, or was this just the illusion of sparring?
Yeah. That don't mean nothing, man. Boots ain't no Crawford. Yo, hey, like I said, that don't mean, all that shit don't mean nothing. That shit, they ain't gonna help him.
Crawford's trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, was quick to shut it all down. When asked about Canelo sparring Ennis, he brushed it off, saying, "That don't mean. Boots ain't no Crawford. That isn't going to help him. He should have just got the last cab driver he fought. Boots ain't no Bud. They don't have that mentality."
He should have just got the last cab driver he just fought. Cause that shit ain't gonna, that don't mean nothing, man. All that shit don't mean nothing. You ain't no Bud Crawford.
To Bomac, the sparring headlines were nothing but smoke. His point was clear: Ennis may be talented, but he doesn't fight like Crawford, doesn't think like Crawford, and doesn't have the same experience. If Canelo's camp believed Boots was a blueprint for Bud, then they were already in trouble.
Having that mentality and going upside your head at the same motherfucking time, shit, man. I don't give a fuck about all that shit, dog.
Still, Bomac's comments didn't kill the speculation. If anything, they added more fuel. Fans split into camps, some claiming Canelo looked vulnerable, others insisting Crawford's team was just playing mind games. And that's what makes this story perfect for fight build-up. At the end of the day, no one truly knows what happened behind closed doors. But what we do know is that Crawford's laugh, Canelo's swollen forehead, and Ennis's smile have already written the first chapter of this mega fight's drama. Whenever a super fight is announced, the first thing fans ask is what the legends think, and on this one, the opinions are split right down the middle.
Well, I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. You know, I don't think, what would he have? I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. People thought they was crazy like that before. It's just that he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
Iron Mike Tyson himself admitted he's torn. Tyson said, "I want Crawford to win, but Canelo's power and smarts make it hard." That's a huge statement from a man who knows the fight game better than anyone alive. He went further, comparing Crawford's challenge to the great Henry Armstrong, who jumped multiple divisions in the 1930s to shock the world. For Tyson, the possibility is real, but so is the danger.
And Canelo only need one punch. You know what I mean? That really, basically, that's what it boils down to. I think Canelo only need one shot to change the game or change the fight. Crawford gonna have to stay consistent and win out. He's gonna have to get ahead and stay ahead. You know what I mean? And then also looming is the controversy.
Then there are voices like Antonio Tarver, the man who once shocked Roy Jones Jr., who believes Crawford might have to do the unthinkable, knock Canelo out. Tarver explained that one Canelo punch could change everything, and against a naturally bigger fighter, Crawford might not get the benefit of the scorecards. In his words, Bud can win, but he has to dominate. Anything less and Canelo steals it. Even retired champions like Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward have weighed in, noting that while Crawford is slick, disciplined, and cerebral, Canelo is no stranger to facing smaller opponents and finding ways to break them down.
Things. It don't matter if Canelo is on that. He ain't beat no Terence Crawford. You heard it here first. Plus, I look at the performances of Canelo. I look at his last performances. I mean, they've been all right, you know.
It's a debate lighting up every corner of the sport. Is this Crawford's Henry Armstrong moment, or will Canelo's experience and raw power prove too much? And while the legends argue, Netflix is cashing in. On September 4th, they're releasing Countdown, Canelo vs. Crawford, a behind-the-scenes look at both training camps. And yes, the cameras were rolling during those infamous sparring sessions. Fans are already buzzing at the thought of whether the Ennis rumors will be addressed in the series. Will Netflix show the photos, the forehead swelling, and the supposed 3-round exit? Or will Team Canelo try to brush it off and control the narrative? The series promises to spotlight the mental chess between both fighters, Canelo, the seasoned veteran with the sport's biggest fan base, fighting to protect his throne, and Crawford, the undefeated underdog in size but equal in skill, preparing for the biggest payday and legacy fight of his career. And remember, Netflix doesn't just tell a story, they shape it. If they show Canelo as rattled or Crawford as confident, it could sway millions of casual fans before the first bell even rings. And as fight night draws closer, it's not just legends and streaming platforms fueling the fire, active fighters are now picking sides.
Crawford, un boxeador que está subiendo 2 divisiones. Hay que ver primero cómo se siente de los 6 primeros rounds y después veremos el resultado, pero creo que una pelea muy interesante para los jugadores 50-50.
Erislandy Lara, one of the sharpest technicians Canelo has ever faced, went on record saying Crawford has a 50-50 chance with the right game plan. For a man who gave Canelo one of his toughest fights, that's no empty opinion. Lara knows what it takes to frustrate Canelo with movement, timing, and counterpunching, tools Crawford has in abundance.
Ooh, Canelo. I gotta go Crawford. Canelo's a beast, but I gotta go Crawford. I feel like he's a bigger beast.
How does he get the job done?
By whooping Canelo ass, basically.
Then came Stephen Fulton, a respected world champion who claimed he called this months ago. Fulton said he knew Canelo would end up sparring Jaron Ennis because Ennis's speed, power, and athleticism mirror what Crawford brings. But after seeing the fallout, the rumors, the photos, the fan frenzy, Fulton leaned even harder toward Crawford, even hinting that Boots might have given Canelo a sneak preview of what's coming September 13th. For fans, this is where things get spicy. It's no longer just Crawford's camp saying he has the edge. Fighters who've shared the ring with Canelo or predicted his training methods are now suggesting he might actually be in trouble. And the biggest twist? Even some of Canelo's old rivals are saying Crawford could pull it off.
I like Crawford. All right. My brother fought Canelo, not me. I like Crawford in this fight, and he gets to stay big. But my brother even told me that was his mistake that he made.
And just when it seemed the story couldn't get any messier, in walked Jermall Charlo. The same Charlo who fought Canelo and got picked apart is now calling out Terence Crawford. Charlo went public saying he wants Bud next, but Crawford didn't hesitate to fire back. "You looked like a kitten in there." Brutal. For Crawford, the Charlo challenge is just background noise, he's locked in on Canelo. Still, it adds another layer of spice. Crawford isn't facing just one mountain, he's got multiple giants circling, waiting for their shot. And that raises the stakes, because if Bud pulls this off, he won't just beat Canelo, he'll have Charlo, Benavidez, and others lining up to test him. But none of that matters if Crawford can't solve the biggest puzzle of his career.
He thought going up in weight, I gotta get massive, I gotta get big to beat Canelo. It made him slower, it made his reflexes slower. He'll tell you himself, it didn't feel like the Jermall Charlo that y'all seen him fight Tony Harris.
So here we are, Terence Crawford laughing, Canelo Alvarez bruised, Jaron Ennis buzzing, and boxing legends split down the middle. Trainers dismiss it as nothing, fighters whisper it's everything, Netflix prepares to broadcast the drama, and Charlo tries to steal the spotlight. It's a storm of rumors, speculation, and mind games. And through it all, Crawford's smile lingers. Did he see real weakness in Canelo, or is he just baiting the Mexican superstar into overconfidence? On September 13th, the talking stops and the truth comes out. One man will walk away with his legacy shining, while the other will be forced to answer questions he can't laugh off. So, did Crawford see weakness, or is it all just mind games?
Everybody's talking about the size and, me being a smaller fighter, but if you look on the stage, I've been sparring these big dudes my whole career. Like, how I'm gonna take a punch? They punch me every time we spar. So, it's okay. Once.
On September 13th, we'll find out who's laughing last. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Alright, guys, for the best updates on boxing news, moments, events, and action, make sure to subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on notifications so you never miss quality content. And don't forget to check out our other videos. Until next time, peace.